The Trexperts Quiz would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which this show is created. We pay our respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today.
Double T Media.
You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Hey, we are back after a couple of weeks off. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Trexperts Quiz, a Double T Media production, which is at home right here on the BQN Podcast Network. I'm your host, Davey, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you back to the internet's only Star Trek game show. Before we begin, I would like to give a big shout out to all of our BQN network patrons, especially to this show's associate producers. We have Matt Harker, we have Lars Desenza of the Red Shirt Geeks, we have Jason Anderson, and we have Jerry Antamano. I read those out in a different order every single week, and there's so many associate producers on this show now, I sometimes have to make sure I can remember all of their names, but thank you so much, gentlemen, for your continued financial support of the show and the network. And remember, you can help keep this and other BQN programs coming to you week on week by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/BQN. Let us energize the transporter now and bring in my co-hostess with the mostest.
Hello.
Hey, MC. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Welcome back. We've had a couple of weeks off. Our contestants today had some pretty poor weather a few weeks ago. We were supposed to do this show a couple of weeks ago. We had to put it off, and then certain political events just kind of didn't have me in the mood to do the show for a little while too. Yeah. But we're back now because we need to fill the world with joyful things and the things that we love, right?
We need to celebrate Star Trek Generations being 30.
Absolutely we do. We were just saying off camera how old we feel because you saw it in cinemas as well, right?
That was the first Star Trek movie I saw in theaters.
Same. I was too young, I think, for Star Trek 6, and I hadn't quite gotten into it yet. And, the anticipation to see this in theaters was... I think I saw it like 4 or 5 times.
I only saw it once. I went with my mom and her best friend, and her best friend is kind of the person who really got me into Star Trek originally because she loved Q, and she was very disappointed Q wasn't in the movie. But my mom was very happy about all of the Data stuff because Data was her favorite character. So
Brent Spiner was great in this movie. Say what you will about the emotion ship. I really loved Brent Spiner in this movie, experimenting with that side of Data for the first time.
Yeah.
Cool. Happy memories, though. Where does it sit for you in sort of, let's just say in terms of the TNG films?
In terms of the TNG movies, probably the second or third. It's mid.
Yeah. It's a toss-up for me, I think, because I just have the fond memories of it being that first one I saw in cinemas. So and TNG has always been my Trek, so seeing it... 1994, I think I was probably about to start high school, I think, if I was not in high school already. Wow, okay. I'm going to stop going down that thought memory lane.
I don't think you were starting high school yet, because I would have been 11 at the time, and you're younger than I am.
Oh dear. No, you're right, actually. I didn't start high school till 96, so you're right. Yeah. Whatever.
That's why you have to be around.
Yeah, exactly. All right, before we get too sentimental on our ages, let's energize the transporter again. And bring in our contestants. It is April. They're on my left, and Brooks. How are you both? It's good to see you.
Good. How are you?
Great, thank you. Great. I'm excited to have you on. So, listeners and viewers.
Glad to be here.
Listeners and viewers, I don't even know how I came across you on Instagram, but you're on Instagram as the Trekkie Couple. And I think you came up as someone suggested for the Trexperts quiz to follow, and I was seeing all your con pics, and I was like, oh my god, Trekkie Couple, so charming, I need to have you on the show. So it's so exciting to finally have you here.
Oh, we're so happy to be here. Yeah, we don't know many Star Trek fans in our immediate circle, so just putting those pictures on our normal Facebook and Instagram was kind of falling on dead. Like they wouldn't be appreciated. So we started a new Instagram page, and we have so many pictures to go through of all the celebrities and cool people we've met. Like, conventions are awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, they are so much fun. I haven't been to one myself in quite a while. But let's talk about Generations. So I know you both did a rewatch recently in preparation for today. April, I'll start with you. Any fond memories of Generations? Is it a favorite? Is it just an okay one for you?
It's definitely an okay one for me. He recently showed me them about 2 or 3 years ago when he first introduced Star Trek to me. I definitely have a favorite, and it's probably First Contact.
Like
but
most.
I definitely, the more and more we watch Generations, the more I love it. So it's definitely climbing up my list.
And what about you, Brooks?
The first Star Trek I saw in theaters, much like you did. I mean, it's like you were saying earlier, like this was like a huge deal. Like I remember being like 5, 6 years old. My dad took me to the theater to go see it, and I remember it was like Shatner and Patrick Stewart were on the cover of Time magazine. Like Star Trek never felt bigger than when this movie came out. I still remember the champagne bottle floating in space and being confused what that was. And I have a lot of fond memories about the movie. I mean, like it. You know, if you start peel back the onion layers a little bit on the movie, it kind of there's some story problems and there's some kind of herky-jerky stuff here. But I enjoyed it. I still really like the movie a lot.
Yeah, I think you can probably get that with any of the films. If you analyze it a little bit too hard. Likewise, I remember the hype, and funnily enough, this is back in a time when Australia did not receive films and TV shows at the same time as the US. So the internet was kind of new then, and I was on it because I had a neighbor who had the internet at that time. But it was very exciting here because Patrick Stewart and William Shatner came to Australia and were doing all of the different talk shows and morning shows and all that, promoting it. And I was like, oh my God, like this is...
Right on.
However, I feel like I knew the whole plot of the movie before I saw it because I had all the trading cards already.
Yeah.
And other nerds who were on the internet who published the newsletters that I got were pretty much just spoiling it all. Still loved it though, still loved it. Well,
That's great.
I think then we need to get you right into your game. So let's dive into round 1. Alrighty, and just a reminder to everyone who is in our live audience on YouTube or Twitch today, you can play along in the chat. I see we've got Jim, I see we've got Matt Harker, I can see Chrissy from the BQN in there as well, so please feel free to join along. And Matt, I agree, the emotion chip was massive, like enormous, but anyway. All right, let's get your hands on your buzzers. Let's get ready to play the Trexperts quiz. Your first question in the general knowledge round. What brand of champagne christens the Enterprise B?
I'm a little... Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Guesses are encouraged.
Yeah.
Brooks?
Cooks. Oh, that's a cheap champagne.
Negative.
No, that's incorrect. April, you've got a shot.
I I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna say Chateau Picard.
It's a wine.
That's fine. Yeah. I'm not very keen on my champagne.
No, and it's actually it's a brand of champagne that exists today. It's Dom Perignon. Now, there was going to be a bonus question for this if someone got it. I'll still ask it anyway. It's very obscure. Does anyone know what year was the vintage of that champagne? It's printed on the label quite clearly, actually. Nope. All right.
Unable to comply.
We had a few people guessing Chateau Picard in the chat as well. Chrissy did get Dom Perignon. It should have been Chateau Picard, is what Chrissy is.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it couldn't be champagne because Picard would every single member of the Picard line would lose their mind at a Chateau Picard being a champagne because it's not in the Champagne region.
Yeah. And that's exactly right. As someone who has been to the Champagne region and learned just how seriously that is taken, it would be. All right, and the vintage year was 2265. So there you go. Let's jump into your second question. Now, this is a finish this line. It's from the scene on board the sail ship Enterprise. Finish this line from Riker. All hands set sail.
Brooks?
Something like Stand by the Braces or something like that. Or something.
Or
I don't think that's right. Was
so
yeah.
we can probably give you.
Insufficient
I
data.
think half a point.
We
for
give you a
that.
half point, yeah. So there's actually something before. There's two things he says. There's a comma. So he says something and stand by the braces. So we'll give you a half point. April, do you know what he says before that?
I'm gonna have to. No, I'm not sure. No.
That's okay.
Unable to comply.
It was to Gansels and courses, stand by the braces.
I haven't paid attention on that one too. I felt that was going to be one of your questions too.
I know.
It's my test taking anxiety kicking in.
Yeah, I've been doing a few of these quizzes lately where I'm like, go and watch a particular. I'm going to do it just on this episode or just on this movie, and it drives people a little batty because it's like doing like an observation round in a Twitter, you know, where you're shown a 5-minute video and you're going to be like, I've got to try. Are they going to ask about that? Are they going to ask about that? All right, your third question. What planet did Data's revolting beverage come from?
Brooks?
Freucus 3 or something like that.
Close enough, yeah.
Am I close?
Yeah, we'll give you that.
Freucus 3 or...
Focus free. I thought it was Focus free. I had the subtitles on when I watched it, just so I could make sure I got everything. And it was spelled Focus 3 in the Paramount Plus
Focus
subtitles,
3.
but that could be wrong. But you get the
That's
point
not
for
their
that.
most imaginative planet name.
Yeah. We are getting some conversation in the chat about what does Gansels and courses even mean. Hey, chat, go and Google it and let us know. We'd love to find out.
Get back with us.
All right, your next question. Which starship had to make a course correction after the Amargosa star was destroyed?
Brooks?
The Bozeman.
The Bozeman is correct.
That is correct.
That is correct. Nice and quick. Don't let him get too far ahead of you there, April.
I gotcha.
Next question. What was Kirk's dog's name?
April?
Bandit.
Incorrect. Oh, you were so confident too. Brooks, what was it?
Butler.
It was
Butler.
That is correct.
I just read that too.
Oh, dear.
Butler. Damn it.
All right, so Oh, I just lost my place in the chat. Oh, there we go. Your next question. What is the TOS connection with one of the starships that rescues the Enterprise crew at the end of the film?
Can you tell me that question? What was the question again?
What is the original series connection with one of the ships that rescues the Enterprise crew at the end of the film?
Brooks.
Is one of them like called the Yorktown or something? Which I know that was the original choice of the name for the Enterprise. I'm getting into the weeds here, trying to think about this.
I mean, you're in the right.
Am I pointed in the right direction there?
Yeah, I mean it's a
Negative.
good answer. It's not the answer. April, any chance you've got it?
Oh, I'm not positive on that one. I'm. Original series.
Nope.
Ask.
Pass, I'm sorry.
Unable to comply.
So, Picard to Farragut. Does anyone know what the link is with the Farragut?
Is that the ship that brought Charlie to the Enterprise? Charlie X? Is that one?
Kirk was first officer aboard the Farragut.
It was his first. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, so your next question is your first question, 7 of 9, which is worth 3 points. Now, cheekily, I've asked this question before in a movies quiz, but I like it because it's fun. What 3 things will not arrive until Tuesday?
So it.
Brooks.
All right, the tractor beam,
Correct?
the medical staff,
Correct.
the third thing's killing me. And then, like, even Shatner gives him like, "Don't tell me, Tuesday." I'm just trying to remember what the setup for that was. I get 2 of the 3 points there. I can't remember what the third thing was.
You will get 2 out of the 3 points.
You will get 2 out of the 3 points.
Insufficient data.
April, do you know what the last one is?
Is it torpedoes?
Correct. It is torpedoes.
That is correct.
Well done. April's first point. Congratulations. Good work. Good work.
Here's my comeback.
Does
Now-
anybody else use Tuesday as like the answer to things like when stuff has not arrived yet?
It does make me think of the movie. It's great.
I figure it's probably like all Star Trek geeks who are just like, yeah. It'll arrive on Tuesday.
Just Tuesday. Tuesday's the day. Tuesday's
Tuesday.
the day. Now, again, this is actually a question I've asked before, and it's funny that I'm asking it again because the person who answered this question correctly 2 years ago on this show is in the chat today. So Matt Harker has previously completed a quiz on all of the Next Generation films and got this one right. What was the Enterprise's shield modulation? Match our torpedo frequency?
I know the scene. I mean, something with a 47 in it. I know they liked that. I don't know.
Dude, I'm just laughing because Matt's just like, oh shit.
Brooks?
I'll just say 47. I know it's not right. but I'm
It's
just gonna
not
say
47.
Negative.
Matt, if you, I can see Matt's in the chat, so Matt, you should jump in. But anyway, April, can you remember it?
Pass.
Oh, and he's saying he can't remember now.
Oh, Matt.
And you know what? When he was on last time, he rambled it off so quickly. But it is
Unable to comply.
257.4.
I'll never
Match
forget
our
that.
torpedo frequency to match 257.4.
Best scene of the movie.
Yeah, because, such an important piece of information relating to the ship's security is just displayed on an open panel. I mean, I work in information security or cyber security, so I just find that appalling. Anyway. All right. Final question for your first round. What was the punchline of the Farpoint joke? I think that's Brooks.
Brooks?
I'm trying. The first part's escaping me, but it's like the Ferengi and the gorilla suit has to go. I can't, that's all I can remember.
Half point for getting the second half of the punchline. April, do you know the first half of the punchline?
Nope.
Nope. That's all right. That's all
Unable
right.
to comply.
So it is. The clown can stay, but the Ferengi in the gorilla suit has to go.
I feel like I got the more complicated
Yeah,
part of
which
that.
MC did correct this question because I think I originally wrote the Ferengi and the gorilla suit has to go.
Just carries around a gorilla suit.
Oh dear, well done, Jim McMahon got the whole thing in the chat, which I would expect from Jim, who as a trivia Star Trek trivia master himself. But that is the end of your first round. MC, can we get a score update?
So we've got April on the board with 1 point, but Brooks is in the lead with 6.
Hey.
Still anyone's game.
Yeah, still up for grabs.
To be fair, I've only seen the movie about 2-3 times, so.
There we go. There
About
we go.
20.
All right, so we're going to move into round 2. Round 2 is behind the scenes. And I haven't done a good behind the scenes round in quite some time, but it was easy for me to do with this because there was so much build up to this movie. I was like obsessed with it when it came out. And I had a VHS tape that came, I can't even remember where we got it from. It was like randomly like at a Kmart or something, and it was like $2. But it was a VHS tape of the making of the film, and it was out months before the film hit Australian cinemas. But it was packaged like it was the movie. Like it didn't actually. So I thought,
Make some money.
yeah. So 1994, Davey thought he was like, wow, okay, cool. The universe is really screwed up here. But anyway, I watched that thing.
Kmart's selling bootleg movies now.
Yeah, but this is how the plot got ruined for me because in that making of, they showed the making of how they did the saucer section crash, and I'm like, cool, the Enterprise is going to blow up. But anyway, worst kept secret ever. All right, let's get your hands on your buzzers and let's see how well you know behind the scenes of this movie. What was used for the first time in Star Trek film history to promote Generations?
Brooks?
Website.
Correct.
That is correct.
Correct. Which launched as generations.viacom.com on October 28, 94, 3 weeks before the release of the film. It featured a graphical interface resembling the LCAST display of the Enterprise. Site content included videos of both versions of the film's trailer, which I went and looked up recently. So you can find, I think TrekCore has an archived version of the website in PDF, because I could not find it on the Internet Archive. But you could download trailers of the film in stunning 80p or something like that at it was like literally 10 frames per second, 8 or 5 frames per second were your two options in QuickTime format, as well as a 1-800 number you could use to call and buy stuff off the site, because they weren't quite doing that level of internet shopping yet. But anyway, there you go. I did.
You know, you could probably have a matching question where what's the last Star Trek movie to have a website? Because you know they don't have them anymore.
No, they don't. You don't.
I remember the nexus website.
Yeah. They don't really promote movies like that anymore, do they?
No. They've got social media now.
Exactly. All right, in a deleted scene, who threw the bottle of champagne at the Enterprise B?
Brooks?
I say Kirk because he was skydiving in some
That is
deleted
correct.
scene. I remember.
Correct. So there's a scene which again was in the collector card set, but not in the final film, where Kirk does a space jump. And I don't know, and here's where I get confused because I've never actually seen the scene. He either threw the bottle of champagne or it was in the original script that he was to throw the bottle of champagne. Because when he lands in the deleted scene, he's like, oh, yeah, there's no way I'm going to the christening of that ship. And then he's there. We all laughed.
Completely unnecessary.
All right. Next question. Which Star Trek actor is Malcolm McDowell's nephew?
No, I don't know. I don't know if he remembers.
Brooks?
Alexander Siddig, Dr. Bashir.
That is correct.
It is...
On the other day. Just waiting.
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. It was Alexander Siddig. Next question. How longer after the wrap of TNG's filming did filming of Generations begin?
April?
I'm going to say about 3 weeks.
Negative.
Incorrect. Incorrect. Very close, though.
Brooks?
2 weeks.
Negative.
1 week. One
Really?
whole week between them wrapping up the filming of All Good Things. In fact, the TOS character scenes were filmed whilst TNG was still in production because they wanted it out that quickly. And congratulations to Jim and Chrissy in the chat for getting that. Yeah, it's nuts. Like you read all kinds of things about just what they were doing to try and get, basically trying to get everyone in. There's stuff around the fact that they even had to get Riker into Avery Brooks's uniform, which is why it was a little big, and he had the sleeves rolled up.
So bizarre.
Yeah.
It's so cheap of them.
And you gotta think, like, the production on season 7 and the production on this movie, if they're splitting people, that might explain a lot about season 7 and this movie.
It's got some issues. Like, you go through season 7, like, outside of the finale, there's maybe like 3 or 4 that kind of rise above. Everything else is pretty middling about that last season.
Yeah. There's a bit of a late season curse, especially when it comes to 90s network television. But yeah. All right, let's jump to your next question. The Qatarian eggs actually came from which animal?
April?
I'm going to say duck.
Incorrect.
Negative.
Brooks?
Ostrich.
That is correct.
They were ostrich eggs.
Am I right?
They were ostrich eggs.
Threw that out there. That was a pure guess.
Was that a guess? Well done. That's good. Pays to guess. All
What a
right.
bizarre thing, by the way. Like, they have the 2 captains together. It's like, we're going to have them make breakfast.
Yeah,
Certain
it is.
expectations.
It is yeah. I mean, there's a lot about the final meeting between those 2 captains where I'm like, is this really like the best we could come up with?
We waited all these years, and this is what we're going to get.
Yeah, exactly. Another deleted scene question. Soren installed a device into LaForge that did what?
Brooks?
It, like, stopped and started his heart.
Correct.
That is correct.
Correct, yes. The scene was apparently quite intense and was removed to maintain a PG-13 rating.
Didn't need to say that. I don't even like seeing Geordi just shirtless being halfway tortured by the guy. A heart-stopping scene.
All right, your next question for 3 points. This is another question 7 of 9. Which other TOS characters were meant to appear in the opening scene?
April?
George Takei.
Correct?
Gosh. Was it Nichelle?
No, not Nichelle. No, I'm afraid not. But you'll get a point for George Takei.
Negative.
Brooks, who were the others?
Him, like DeForest Kelly.
Correct? Was, yep.
Oh,
One more.
Was there more than that?
There's one more.
There's one more.
There's one more. Well, I would assume Nimoy at that point, like probably just
Correct.
put the whole man back together.
That is correct.
Pretty much, yeah. And I couldn't actually find, and I was crushed that there was no mention of Nichelle Nichols being approached in any of the trivia I looked up. Nimoy was also apparently asked to direct, but was not a big fan of the script.
And I'm pretty sure the reason why Dee didn't come back is because they couldn't insure him because he was quite ill at the time.
Yeah,
He's like probably 5 years off from when he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
But also, seriously, screw them for never asking Nichelle.
100%.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah. All right, your second last question. Which guest star cast member in this film never starred in another movie again?
We will accept character name, by the way.
Yeah, we could take her, yeah.
April?
Was it James Doohan?
James Doohan was...
Negative.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually... I mean, that actually could be right. But not the answer I... Not the answer I have. Not the answer I have.
Brooks?
Is it the one who plays Sulu's daughter? Her?
Yeah,
Is she like a one and done?
Jim is saying that in the chat as well, but it's not the answer I have.
Insufficient data.
So the answer I have was that it was Barbara March who played Lursa.
I was going to say one of the Duras sisters was going to be the next one.
Yeah, and never. I don't see any evidence of her acting again after this. However, a few people are suggesting that perhaps the actor who played Demora Sulu as well. I cannot confirm nor deny that. If anyone wants to look it up,
I'm actually looking things up right now.
I never saw her in anything
No,
outside of this
actually,
movie.
she has been active up until 2021.
there you go.
From what I can see. Mostly doing television, doing things like ER, West Wing, Xena, but there are some movies in there after Generations. And also, Jimmy Doohan did have a couple of credits for movies after Generations.
There we go.
She was good.
Okay, so final question. I quite like this one. I was unaware of this one until I did this research. What was unusual about the Playmates figures created for the movie?
Brooks?
They're in those weird uniforms that they didn't use. Like
They're correct. Yeah,
That is correct.
Yeah.
the
had a
uniforms
few
were
of those.
wrong. Yeah. So, yeah, a new set of Starfleet uniforms were intended to be introduced into the film to be worn by the Enterprise D crew. They would have been a little bit more similar to the television ones. The collars would have been the same color. However, the rank pits would have been worn on the shoulder with a corresponding braid on the wrists. The uniforms were eventually nixed by Rick Berman. And however, the whole issue, they went with the halfway between DS9 uniforms and TNG uniforms for some reason.
They rated
Well,
Deep
one of
Space
the-
Nine's closet.
I actually know why they went halfway with it because they own. I believe you already said that Frakes was wearing
Avery Brooks's
Brooks's uniform. I believe Brent Spiner was wearing Cole Meany's, and Marina Sirtis refused to wear the uniform because she said that it looked terrible. She said that, she said that even Terry Farrell looks terrible in it. And if Terry Farrell looks terrible in it, then it's not going to look good on her.
Good point.
That's so funny. So, Marina, there you go. We've got so basically, so you're saying so because one person didn't want to wear the uniform, they just went, we'll just have make it like it's a transition to the new uniform going on.
Yeah. Well, she, I guess she and Gates both refused to wear the other uniform, wear the DS9 uniform. and they just didn't bother to put it in on Geordie. So they only had like the main three wear it, which
Wow.
makes sense because the TNG movies only ever cared about Picard, Riker, and Data.
Yeah, very true, very true. Well, anyway, if anyone's got one of those action figures, let us know. I did look it up. Actually, I think, Brooks, you said you had a couple of them, yeah?
I remember I had the Geordie one. It was confusing as a kid. It was
MC's
kind of like you tell her trying to do like sort of like the Monster Maroon look from the movies, having the rank on the on the chest there and everything.
Yeah, they were trying to get that more cinematic kind of look, I think. But anyway,
yeah.
All kinds of fun things I found about just the production of this film because it was so rushed. They used the redressed set for the future Enterprise for More Good Things, and that was why the bridge looked so different. I don't know who forgot to pay the electricity bill and why everything was so dark.
So dark in the
movie. But anyway, good times. That's the end of the second round. MC, can we get a score update, please?
April is on the board with 2, but Brooks is in the lead right now with 14.
It's anyone's game.
It is?
It is.
It is. April, you've got something coming up which we'd like to call the Warp Speed Round. All right, strap yourselves in because the Warp Speed Round is 20 rapid-fire questions. It is a full photon torpedo spread coming at you thick and fast. I will ask each question one after the other. I'll then give you a few seconds to chime in before moving on to the next question. So have your fingers hot on those buzzers. Let's go into warp. Question number 1. How many refugees did Scotty save from the Laku?
April?
47.
Correct.
That is correct.
Out of 150. That was the reference to 47. Second question. What deck was Kirk on when he was sucked into the Nexus?
April?
15.
Correct. It was
That is correct.
deck 15. Look out. Question number 3.
Coming for you.
Riker asked Geordie to set the yardarm to what? Unable to comply.
Unable to comply.
Stuntsel. What's a stuntsel, sir?
I remember that.
How many people served aboard the Amagosa Observatory?
Brooks?
20.
Incorrect.
Negative.
April?
50.
Incorrect.
Negative.
It was 19. In what fire? In what fire do we burn?
April?
Pass.
Did you say pass?
Yeah, I accidentally pressed the button.
Oh, okay. I'm buzzed. In what fire do we burn?
It's time.
Correct.
That is correct.
Trilithium is an inhibitor of what?
I'll pass on that one.
Negative.
Just-
Right, I
Unable
never
to
comply.
comply.
Nuclear fusion. Soren uses which popular Star Trek fighting move quite a lot throughout the film?
Brooks?
Didn't he do like the Kirk double fist thing a few times?
Not what I'm looking for, April.
Is it the pinch?
No.
Negative.
It's the good old-fashioned open palm punch, which was very
Oh,
popular.
nice. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Open punch.
The population of Viridian 4 is at what stage of development?
Brooks?
Pre-industrial.
Correct.
That is correct.
Lursa and Bator's bird of prey model was retired due to defective what?
Brooks?
So, it's connected to the cloaking device. I don't think that's the answer, though.
That's incorrect.
Negative.
Well, I mean, that is correct, but it's not the answer to this question. April.
Pass.
Pass. Oh, good.
Unable to comply.
Plasma coils. Plasma coils.
Plasma coils.
which
It
was
all comes to you once you say it.
Well, I think we were like when we were watching it last time. It's like, hey, take a note of that.
And what were the plasma coils susceptible to a low level of?
Brooks?
Tachyon beam.
Incorrect.
Negative.
April? Nope.
Unable to comply.
A low-level ionic pulse, conveniently.
The ionic pulse.
Yeah. Picard tells Troy that his family fought in which famous historical battle?
Brooks?
Battle of Trafalgar or something.
That is correct.
That's correct. Well done.
Ah.
Who directed Generations?
Brooks?
David Carson.
Correct.
That is correct.
Well done. What was Kirk's unseen love interest from the Nexus scenes? What was her name?
Brooks?
Antonia.
Correct.
That is correct.
Could have been Edith Keeler, but that's another conversation for another day.
Which non-TNG cast member in the film is a very old friend of Patrick Stewart's?
Brooks?
I'd assume Malcolm McDowell.
That is correct.
Correct. They worked with each other in the Shakespearean Theatre Company. Who is the only TOS character not seen or mentioned in Generations?
It's locked.
Oops. Unlocked.
Brooks?
Our girl Uhura, Nichelle.
That is
Yeah, we
correct.
kind of spoiled that one.
We get that one.
Awkward. The film was produced simultaneously with which season of DS9?
Brooks?
The third.
Correct.
That is correct.
How many years passed between the film's opening scene and the rest of the film?
April?
78.
That
That is correct.
Correct. Name the actor who played John Harriman.
Brooks?
Cameron himself, Alan Ruck.
That is correct.
That is correct. Second last question. Which interlocks give Geordi the first hint of a warp core issue?
Pass.
Unable to comply. The magnetic interlocks. Now, here's again. This is something, another one we've done before, but I just cannot help myself. You're gonna do a little bit of a recreation of one of the film's most iconic scenes. I did not warn you about this, so I'm also going to test your memory of this scene as well. I would like both of you, one at a time, to give me your rendition of Data's Life Forms song that he sings at the helm. You're going to dazzle us, and between myself, MC, and the chat, we're going to award 5 points to whoever does it best. So,
Do you remember it at all?
who would like to go first? Do you want me?
If you're
I can.
passing, I'll go ahead.
Do you want, I can give you the lyrics. If you want, I can give you the lyrics. I can tell you the lyrics, and then.
I don't know.
No.
I genuinely don't.
All right, Brooks, take it away.
Life forms. You precious little life forms. You tiny little life forms. Where are you?
Well done. Well done.
It's impressive.
April, you sure you don't want to give it a go?
I'm gonna get.
Hard pass is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, you can't. I can't go. I can't show that up.
Oh dear. Chrissy's having a good old laugh in the chat because she's been on the show before and I've made her sing. I think I made her do a rendition with Julian actually MC of Quiet Conversation from Subspace Rhapsody.
Yeah, he tried to make me sing something from Subspace Rhapsody, but then I passed.
Yeah. Matt is gambling with everyone in the chat. How much does he want to bet that I'll do it? Hey, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction just yet. But I guess we give the points to Brooks by default there and come out of warp because that is the end of our game. So MC, how did they go?
So April picked up a couple more points and finished out with 5, but Brooks couldn't be caught and finished out with 24, making him our lowest.
I guess I do know the movie. Okay.
Congratulations. Well done. Well done.
Thank you. Let me know in the Tournament of Champions.
So, as is tradition, you get to give a victory speech.
A victory speech. Oh, well. Thanks for having us, by the way. This is so cool. I'm a gracious person. I can't really gloat right now. I mean, it'll always be great to me. That movie is the first one I ever saw in theaters. I think that opening part with William Shatner is some of his best performing ever in Star Trek. It's like that whole chunk. I honestly think he's wonderful in that first movie. Him making eggs, I could take or leave, and horseback riding and whatnot. That first part, he's awesome. And all right, just the subtle stuff he's doing in that, like, great stuff. What's your favorite scene of the movie? If I ask you, Davey, you MC, like, what's your favorite? Like, what's like the most rewatchable scene for you of the movie?
That's a really good
Most
question.
rewatchable?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I always get super emotional when Data finds Spot.
That's a good. He's great in that. Yes.
Yeah. Look, I growing up, I loved a good space battle, so I would often put the movie on and fast forward to the battle scenes.
That crash scene holds up.
In parts, yeah. I mean, there's one part where it definitely looks like someone threw a frisbee at a model train set, but like it's. But at the time, on my little CRT TV in 90s Davey living room,
4x3, it looked great.
4x3 looked fabulous, yeah. Especially when you had to adjust the tracking. April, any final words to your partner and competitor there?
I love hearing him talk about what he loves to do most. It's meant a lot to me the past few years, and I'm definitely going to go home and watch more Star Trek and prep for the next quiz.
Well, you've both been fabulous. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having us.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Before we leave, we always just do a quick round of self-promotion and where people can find you. MC, where can our good listeners and viewers find you online?
You can find me everywhere except for the Cursed Bird app as MC Frodus because branding is important. And every Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern, I'm on Strange New Pod. Right now, we are reviewing the final season of Star Trek Lower Decks.
Aww. So good, so good. And April and Brooks, you've got a fun little Trekkie Couple Instagram. Where can people follow you online?
Yeah, the Trekkie Couple 9789 on Instagram. We try to post a couple of pictures there a week. We've been slowing down a little bit, but there's literally 100 more to go, and all the fun stories that go along with them. Just enjoy getting to share that stuff with people because it's some of our favorite memories we've ever made.
Beautiful, yeah. And I loved your Instagram. I had to reach out to you straight away and ask you to be on it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Super cute, just super cute. I'm just jealous because my fiance could not give a shit about Star Trek. So very supportive though. All right, well, thank you so much for your time today and for every... Oops.
Thank you so much.
Oh, hang on. I just kicked myself off the stage by accident. But For everyone else out there, for myself, yes, Matt Harker, the quiz is on Blue Sky because we have also abandoned the Cursed Bird. You can find the Trexperts quiz on all socials but X. We are on Blue Sky, we're on Threads, we're on Instagram, and we are on Facebook. You could also catch up with me and the other BQN hosts by jumping onto the BQN podcast Discord server. There is a link in the episode description. Come join us. We got all kinds of fun, crazy stuff happening over there, including weekly fitness challenges, if you would believe. Who knew the two would finally blend, Star Trek and fitness? But hey, there it is. Remember, if you would like to be a part of the program, you can register to be a contestant and put your Latinum where your mouth is by heading over. Well, actually, no, sorry, the website has been taken offline. Just email now, trexpertsquiz@gmail.com. I have that script stuck in my head, but I forgot I took the website offline for cost-cutting reasons. Cost of living, people, cost of living. And you may also notice this weird little bit of bum fluff that is making itself known above my top lip here. I am currently participating in the month of Movember. For anyone who does not know what Movember is, it is a fundraiser where, well, basically... you grow a mustache to raise funds for men's mental health services and prostate cancer prevention research as well. So I myself have had a very, very tricky journey with mental health, like a lot of individuals have. I'm certainly in a place where I'm doing relatively well now, but it is certainly a roller coaster ride at times. I've been fortunate enough to be able to get access to really good resources. I've been able to step up and take care of my health, but not a lot of men out there do. And suicide rates, amongst many other things, amongst men are still incredibly quite high. So I will be popping a link into the episode description in the chat once the episode is done for my Movember page. If you can, I would love it if you can donate. Otherwise, feel free to just stare at the fun pictures of my mustache as it grows. That is it for now. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us. We'll see you again very, very soon. But until we do, remember that no matter what you do and no matter where you go, please make sure that you go boldly. Peace out, live long and prosper.
What else can you listen to on the BQN? Replicate yourself a mug of hot chocolate and join Amy, Mark, Christos, and Kelvin as they discuss everything and anything in the Star Trek universe on All Good Things. Boost yourself with an energy drink and join Davey on YouTube and Twitch for reviews and live streams of classic, cheap, and sometimes more recent video games on Bargain Bin Gamer. Brew yourself a pot of coffee and join Jeremiah to discuss Star Trek Voyager on The Captain's Couch. Mix your favorite cocktail and join Mark and Matt at Cinema Z to discuss the films you probably missed but should definitely check out. Pour a cup of tea, Earl Grey, hot, and listen to Stephen and Keith as they discuss the next generation of Trek on Galaxy Class. Get yourself something caffeinated and learn an interesting bit of history with Chrissy and Jason on History with the Zalogis. Have a bowl of Flomeek soup and join Thad and Chrissy and a guest to discuss new episodes of Star Trek as they are released on Infinite Diversity. Have something to sharpen your mind and put your Trek knowledge to the test with the Treksperts quiz. Take a bite out of something that didn't seem edible and join Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley covering all things in New Trek, including that show that is Trek in all but name, The Orville, on Union Federation. Get your Sunday brunch ready for The View Screen, a live weekly talk show hosted by Kelvin and Amy with featured guests talking about all things Trek. Pour a glass of wine and spill some tea with Christos while he discusses current Trek news and events and explores the world of fandom via guest interviews, all with an LGBTQIA+ perspective on What's the Tea, Bev? And Patreon members get to pass around that green bottle of Aldebaran whiskey once a month on the round table, and they can listen to It's Green with Mark White and Amy's Math Moments.
Double T Media.